time for the off. It'll be interesting to see how we get on, because there's quite a breeze blowing this morning, so we'll see what happens. First job is to try and get off this mooring. After a pleasant evening with Pete and Jenny on Momentous, we're now leaving our mooring and we're going to head through Middlewich and out the other side. So it's a nice day this morning. It's warmer than yesterday, much warmer, and really quite pleasant. So we'll see how we get on. We've got 5 locks at least to do this morning. The first one being Wardle Lock. And for those of you that know, that's also known as Maureen's Lock. Maureen was the boat lady who used to live there, so we'll see that shortly. On this cruise we descend Wardle Lock and turn left onto the Tren and Mersey canal. Go down Big Lock and then across the Croxton Aqueduct, through Croxton Flash, and then finish at Bramble Cuttings.
The upstairs works for. Yeah, he actually really keep moving his weed because I said that. I've never, all the years of boating and stuff, I've been pecked by swans. And he was before she, I don't know if she laid the eggs. And I was calling Brown to me, because normally he doesn't react to swans, but because she started reacting, so she was already on the lead, called, and by the time I was standing there waiting for him to come back, he was out of the water and he whacked me with his wing.
Up ahead is Wardle Lock, and this drops us down to the shortest canal on the UK network, onto the Wardle Canal. At 154 feet or 47 metres long, it's the shortest canal that connects the Shropshire Union Middlewich branch to the Tren and Mersey Canal. It was created because the Tren and Mersey company insisted there was no connection between their canal and the Shropshire Union Canal. Now just waiting for the lock to be set at Wardle Lock, which is the end of the Middlewich branch. To the right is the Tren and Mersey down towards Stoke-on-Trent, and to the left is the Tren and Mersey going up towards Anderton, which is where we're headed for, believe it or not. The lock is also known as Maureen's Lock. Maureen Shaw was a boatwoman who was well known to passing boaters, as well as the local canal community. She lived in the Lock Cottage here at Wardle Lock for many years, with the result that it was often referred to as Maureen's Lock. Following her death in 2012, a memorial panel has been placed at the lock in her honour. We had the honour of meeting Maureen herself when we hired a boat and passed through the lock. On our return 2 weeks later, Maureen even remembered us and came out and greeted us. To the right of the junction here is King's Lock, and it's only a few yards to the right, so I'd sent Chris on ahead to make sure the way was clear. There is no way you can see if there's any traffic coming along the canal until you're actually out of the bridge hole. And of course, being a windy day, it didn't make it easy to make the turn either. Now in Middlewich top lock, this is a set of 3, and this is the first one. I've been come out Wardle lock. We've got a tight left hand turn as we come out the lock, and then there's 2 more further down. The middle lock of the 3, and we've got lockies on each of the locks this morning, so we're being spoiled. How about that? That's the lock just round the corner that we came out of, the top lock, and there's a nice bywash just by the shed there that helps the bow round. All I do is hover and let the bywash push the bow round, and it helps us round the corner. So now bottom lock of the 3, and we've got one more to do. That's big lock just further round. And that's it for a while. So we come down these pretty quick, thanks to our volunteer lockies who are on today. They've been really helpful and got us through them fairly quickly. That's a view back to the middle lock. And Chris having a good chat there with the Lockie, telling him about our little exploit yesterday in Stanthorn Lock, which I was calling Atherstone Lock. It was actually Stanthorn. So my mistake on that one. AmyJo's getting an impromptu boat wash. That's why I always insist we keep windows and doors closed. Very wet this one. After the locks, there's a handy water point, so we've just made a quick pit stop for some water. But these CNRT buildings are the last buildings that CNRT don't seem to be able to sell for some reason. I mean, let's face it, you've only got to look at the chimney on the left there, and that's about to fall down at some point. So they are falling into dereliction, which is a real shame. But there you go. So underway again. Heading now for Big Lock.
Right, we're back up to speed now.
That's tench.
Yeah. I wonder what they've been.
I don't know if you've noticed, but all the locks that we've been going through so far are narrow locks for narrow boats. But the lock ahead, Big Lock, is a wide beam lock. It's 14 foot wide. But why is Big Lock that size when all the other locks on the Tren and Mersey north and south of here are narrow locks? Well, the reason was it was built when the canal length to Northwich was started, and it was then the intention to construct the canal wide enough to take the large salt barges. But once Big Lock was completed, the plans were changed and all the other locks and nearby aqueduct were constructed for narrowboats only. Tea for Chris. We got two lovely ladies working the lock for us, and they've told Chris to get on the boat. So Chris is staying on the boat.
I don't know where he wants his ball.
And they're doing the lock for us. So thank you very much, ladies.
The last time was when they were redoing that bridge.
Yeah.
You start chewing that and it's going to come out your mouth.
Smudge, being Smudge, has pilfered one of Sassy's balls. Sassy's the dog on Momentous, and he hasn't left it alone since he's had it. He's been playing with it all morning while we've been cruising. It's keeping him occupied, and he loves it because it's got a little squeak in it as well. Although the squeak appears to have stopped working all of a sudden. Despite the overgrown looking towpath, it's actually quite pretty along this stretch. It's quite narrow, plenty of twists and turns to keep the helmsman occupied, but it's lovely out this little bit. This is one of numerous flashes created by mining subsidence in the region. Northwich and Middlewich are renowned for salt mines, and these flashes are a result of a mine collapse. Couldn't believe our luck. We've just pulled up at Bramble Cuttings. At the moment there's only us and one other boat on the moorings. So we've virtually got the place to ourselves. So that's us for tonight. And then tomorrow we'll carry on to Anderton. This thunderstorm rumbled on for a good couple of hours, and as it progressed the rain got heavier and heavier until well, that's it for this one, folks, but before we go I'd like to thank all of you who commented letting me know what this animal was. I thought it was a weasel or a ferret. It turns out it was actually a mink. So thank you very much for your comments informing me.